Today we are looking at the ExTiX Deepin Linux desktop. So this is a September ExTiX Linux distro. So here is the boot menu. I didn't read any release note or anything. So that's the reason I don't know anything or any changes. I need to boot this Linux distro and get to their website and know everything. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So this is a live boot ISO file, and I'm running it on a VMware, which is virtualization with 40 GB of hard disk, 4 GB of RAM, and 12 Gen i5. So it should usually take like a 30 to 40 seconds in my laptop. Every Linux distro will take that much of time in my laptop. If it is stable, it will take that much of time. If it's beta version or the development version, it should take a lot of time, like a maximum of 1 minute or 2 minutes. It's my that timing in my laptop. It will be different in some of the other viewers. If you have like a good NPC, it should be very quick. It will be completely different in both of our systems, because we use both like a different computers. That's the reason. There shouldn't be like a exact numbers in the time. It will be different. So again, this is a Deepin Linux Deepin desktop environment. So you already know, if you following my channel, I really hate the Deepin desktop environment or a Deepin Linux. It's my decision, or it's my thing. If you like a Deepin desktop environment or a Deepin Linux, I don't have any problem. I don't argue with you. It's clearly your opinion. So it is taking a time here. I think this is a good option to use the Deepin Linux in a live boot. People who want to use the Deepin Linux, you can go with the live boot Deepin ExTiX Deepin, because most of us want to use the Deepin desktop environment in a live boot. We don't want to install it. So I don't even want to install it because it takes 80 GB of hard disk nearly. And it was a bad experience with the Deepin Linux for me. I really hate it, and I'm not going to recommend it for some of viewers. People who love it, I don't have any problem. I respect your opinion. It's clearly up to you. So it's almost like a 40-second, but we should be seeing anything, but we are not seeing anything here. Just a small underline at the left side corner, top side. Let's wait for a few more seconds and see whether we will get any desktop or anything like that, or just a blank screen. So here it is, the ExTiX Deepin desktop environment. So I'll be cutting the video, which it took like almost like a 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to speed up the process of the loading screen of the desktop. So I'm going to speed up to 20% all these things, or maybe I should be chopping that off. So I'll cut that video. It took like a lot of time here to load up the desktop. It says authentication required. The login keyring did not get unlocked when you logged into your computer. Let me close this thing. Let's cancel. So here is the desktop, which it's not properly opened, I think. After even taking like a 10 minutes, it is not properly launched, I think. Maybe that's the wallpaper. No problem. Let's change the resolution. Let's go to the display settings. It took almost like a 5 to 10 minutes to load up the desktop. I'm going to trim that video. So let's go to the display. Change the resolution to 1920. It's not available, I think. 1920 into 1080. Thank God it's available. Save it. Let's get the system information. So it says ExTiX, the operating system Deepin, version is 23, community 23, 64-bit. The kernel version is 6.5.0, and the processor, it is my PC. So it's a 12 Gen, 4 GB of RAM. So people who want to use the Deepin Linux without installing, it's a good option to go with the live boot or the live distros which has a Deepin desktop environment, for example like ExTiX. But you need to wait for like 10 to 15 minutes to just to load up the desktop layout. So that's a negative point there. So people who don't like Deepin Linux like me, you can just ignore this Linux distro and go with the best Linux distros which are available in the uh, Linux. Like a Linux market, there are a lot of Linux distros, best Linux distros available. You can go with the lightweight desktop environments and good Linux distros. For example, I'll be giving like I recommend like Zorin OS, Manjaro, Linux Mint. Those are some good Linux distro. But if you want like a lightweight Linux distros, I made like thousands of videos in the Linux distros. You can choose any Linux distros. I made like almost like a 2000 to 3000 Linux distro videos. You can go into my channel. There should be having like a Linux distro playlist. You can check any video there, and you can go with the any best Linux distros which is suitable for you. I'm not going to recommend because I don't know what are your needs. According to your needs, you can go with any Linux distro. So if you still want to go with the Deepin Linux, I don't have any problem. I don't hate anything. So it's clearly up to you. It's your decision. So let's get back to the video. Just let's stop complaining and go back to the video. The version is 6.0.20. Let's close this thing. Let's open the system monitor and see how much of resources it consumes. So here is our system monitor. I think nothing is loaded properly. Here are all the services. Processors. Here is the process. It consumes 1.4 GB. That's good. Of 3.8 GB, almost similar to KDE Plasma. Here is the CPU. Here is the RAM, and here is the network, and here is the disk. Let's go to the CPU. Here is the CPU. Let me put this in the right side corner because I'll be doing in every Linux distro. I'll put the system monitor at the right side corner so you can get complete information, or you can check the changes in the CPU. It's not allowing me to change the size. It's this much bigger, no problem. Let's keep it like that. Can't even change the size of the system monitor. Let's keep it like that. So let's open the terminal, and before that let's go to the internet and check out what are the new features in the ExTiX Deepin desktop environment, because I didn't read any release notes or anything. When it says the Deepin Linux, I will be like ignoring everything and let's go with just make a video and end the post it in my channel, because I really want to say I'm not really interested in this Deepin Linux. Just for some viewers I'll be making the video. I think most of my viewers even hate the Deepin Linux desktop. I promise that I'll be making every Linux videos as soon as they release. That's the reason I am keeping the promise. So let's get to the website. So here is the website. Let's change the size here. ExTiX has some other desktop environment. They are good, but the Deepin Linux, if you want to check that out of the ExTiX other desktop environments, I already made a lot of videos on ExTiX Linux. You can check it out in my channel. So let's maximize this thing and read everything. So the kernel version is a 6.5.0. So the build number is a 230903. Here is the complete news. If you want to read everything is here. It's based on a 23 beta. Even the stable is worst, no problem. So 23 point beta installer. This says like as you can see, the developers urge people try Deepin beta in non-production environment. I must say though that I haven't discovered any bugs and the installed program won't crash or anything like that. On the contrary, ExTiX Deepin 23.0 with the Deepin Desktop 23 works pretty well. So that's a positive. If it works for good for you, I will be more happy than anyone else. So kernel is 6.0, 6.5.0. If you use this Linux or the Deepin Linux, if it works for you, I will be very happy. Do let me know in the comment section if it's working good for you. Well, that's the only thing I want to hear from you about the Deepin Linux. If it is like not working, or if it's giving like a torture for you, don't let me know. Don't comment in this section, because I already know how it performs. So no need to explain that. If it's working, then do let me know in the comment section. So these are all the changes. What's new in Linux kernel? That's a different option here. So the screenshots running in full screen, VirtualBox, all the things. So these are all the some of the changes. There is nothing changes here, just the kernel version and the which is based on Deepin 23. That's the only thing here. So let's go to the download section. I'm going to show you how to download that. So here are all the download options. You can choose other desktop environments here of this LaxX. So these are all the different things. Let's get to the ExTiX Linux. Screenshots. Let's read more. I don't know why it is taking a lot of time here. I have a good internet. Like I have like a 15 Mbps, but it's taking a lot of time. Here is the login of the Deepin desktop. Here is the login screen. Here is the download option. So it's available in the source force. Let's click the download option. The version is ExTiX 23.9, which is based on Deepin Desktop Environment 23. So here are the files. Just change the files file. Here it is. So here it is the KDE Handbox. If you want other desktop environment, even you can go with the other options. If you want Deepin, you can go with the Deepin option, like ExTiX Deepin 23 64-bit Refracta Snapshot 3050 MB 230903. This is the file. 3.3 GB to 377 downloads. I don't know whether it's from other viewers or just from the their officials. I don't know properly. So let's click on download. So it should take like a 5 seconds and you should be having a downloader. Download started in the, here it is. Let's click on download. So I'm using a VPN. I don't know, maybe it's very much slow. I didn't download anything here. It's it downloaded automatically and deleted. I don't know. I didn't use this Linux system. I think most of you know that some of the Linux distro will be used by some of other viewers also, or some of the officials or the developers. So if you log out, it says as some warning. So I'm trying to say that most of other also using this Linux distro, they might be downloaded this thing. I didn't download anything or I used anything. So it's first time I'm using this ExTiX Deepin. So the password and root, here are the all the information for the live passwords, live boot credentials. So I'm going to show you when you log out, it will be a warning. Let me show you that. So that was the downloading option. Let me try to log out. You should see a warning. It says like some warning like there are some viewers or something like that. I don't remember that much properly. So no problem. Let's type in the password. The password should be, I think, which is LIVE. When you try to shut down the this desktop environment, it will give you some warning like there are some other uh, there are some viewers or some of the computers are on. So if you put it down, it will erase everything. So that will be the warning, something like that. Not exactly, but that is the some options or some of the warning you get when you shut it down. So let's get back to the system monitor and continue with the video. And here it is, a lag of not a heavy lag but minor lag, no problem. 1.6 GB. Let's keep it aside and continue with the terminal. Let's type in some of the commands. The version is 6.0.5. Let's type in command which is inxi. Command not found. Let's type in cat etc issue deepin new linux 23. Let's check the kernel version. This is the kernel version. Stop is also not found. Let's exit this thing. Let's open like a 5 to 10 apps and see whether it crashes or not. File manager, app store, and image viewer, document scanner, album. Let's open draw, and there is a bit of lag, no problem. Package manager, let's open synaptic package manager. Sorry. Let's even open the gparted, mousepad. I think let's lastly open some important app, and let's even open the mail. Let's open the control center. I think that's enough, I guess. So I already made a video of Deepin 23. If you check the changes in Deepin 23, you can check the videos in my channel. Just Deepin 23 in my channel and you should be seeing a lot of videos of Deepin. So here is the notifications or the notification center. Some of the system apps, date and time, keyboard, internet connection. Plugins cannot loaded in time, no problem. We have like some of the notifications here. Let's go to the about section. Let's get to the system monitor and see. It's a 2.4 GB of a 4 GB of RAM. Here are all the things running. Let's maximize this thing. Here is the CPU. As you can see, CPU is going around like 90%, 70 to 90%. It's not stable. So it's clearly up to you to use it or not. So on the RAM, it's almost like a 2.5 GB. After opening like 8 apps. So that was the RAM. This is the disk and this is the network. These are all the services. Let's close this thing. Also, we need a system monitor, so let's open the system monitor. Let's keep it aside and check the close this notification and check the other information. I don't know why it is closing. Let's keep it aside. Here we have the CPU, RAM, all the things. So let's go to the apps. Loading failed. Let's load it again. The version is 8.0.0, which is App Store, and it says as a loading failed. And the official website said there is no issues in the Linux distro, but here it is. This is the guide. You can go through if you want anything there. About, we already saw that. What happened? It minimized setting. There is nothing here. Let's close this thing. Let's get to the Synaptic Package Manager. Let's check the about information. 0.91.3. I think this is the latest version. So the box with a green highlighted mark will be the installed packages, and here is the installed version, and here is the latest version. I'm going to scroll it down very fast because it will take a lot of time, so I don't want to make it a lengthy video, so that's the reason. So these are all the package manager packages. Let's close this thing. This is a mail app. You can add any account. If you trust the Deepin Linux, you can add anything like this. If you don't trust it, just keep like that. Don't need to add account there. About version is a 6.0.2. Text editor or mousepad. Document scanner. 40.6. There is a bit of lag, like a 2 seconds of lag, or maybe some laggy thing in the. There is nothing smooth here. I think the recording is capturing that thing. I wish you see that there is a lot of 2 seconds of delay or the lag here and there. So I'm seeing that in the in live boot, but I don't know whether it's capturing in the recording or not. I see a lag here and there. Let's check the version. 6.0.5. I think this is an image viewer. Same version. Gparted 1.2.0. Let's close this thing also. I think we completed everything. So let's check the desktop wallpapers and end the video. So there is nothing much changes in the ExTiX Deepin desktop environment. They already mentioned that it's just based on Deepin 23 beta and some kernel change, which is 6.5. That's it. There is nothing change. So if you want to check the changes in the Deepin 23, you can check the videos of mine, which I already made of 23 of Deepin Linux in my channel. Let's change the wallpaper and keep this wallpaper. So these are some of the changes, or these are some of the apps, all the things. We run through everything just quickly because we don't want to use this Linux distro. I don't want to use this Linux distro. So that's my opinion. So if you want to test it, you can test it. I don't have any problem. If it works great for you, do let me know in the comment section. If it works worst, it's okay to comment that, so people will understand whether to use it or not. So that was the ExTiX Deepin Linux desktop environment. So ExTiX has also other desktop environment like a KD Plasma LXD, like that. You can choose other options if you want. So I think I made a lot of videos on that too, so you do let search in my channel And that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out. So I'll be posting 2 videos daily. So I already posted a video of a Manjaro Linux. So here is the other video. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. Peace out.